Happy Halloween. I have a few moments alone before David gets home. He had to go to his mama's this morning, and Holly just left for school, and Kyle's in the bed. So here I am. It's weigh-in Thursday. We'll get to that in a minute. Halloween. Now, we don't get trick-or-treaters anymore. This neighborhood I live in is an older neighborhood. Mama and my brother's daddy built this house in 1971, so I grew up here. We bought it from her in 98. When I lived here in the 70s, the neighborhood was full of kids. I mean, full of kids. And now, all of us are grown up. We have kids. We have grandkids. So pretty much the people that are living here that haven't died off are just older. So there's no kids in this neighborhood. There's one across the street, these new houses they built. At the very end, they've got 2 kids. And other than that, you never see children. So we're just an older neighborhood. And so nobody ever trick-or-treats here. So I don't have to worry about buying candy, except for Sebastian will be here Monday, I think it is. And I have a candy bowl on my counter. And his favorite thing is Reese's. And his second favorite thing is Hershey miniatures. So I do keep a bowl full of that for him. I keep his Reese cups back here behind the side table because he knows that's where they go. And so that's where I'll always keep them. And his little Hershey's up in the bowl. But back when we Halloween trick-or-treated here, back in the 70s, I was I don't know, preteen, I don't know, 11, something like that. So we still trick-or-treated, obviously. Let me just tell you, if you do have older trick-or-treaters, give them some candy. I don't care if they're teenagers. These days and age, there's not much for them to do. It is not like when I grew up. It is not the same world. So if you have teenagers come to your door, don't turn your nose at them. Give them children some candy and let them have fun. Adulthood comes soon enough. Adulting sucks, and y'all know it does. So let them enjoy themselves. Okay, that's that. So, back in this neighborhood, when it was bustling, booming with children, we could go around one time. Now, there's like 3 houses this way, around a block, and then from that block to the block, maybe 3 or 4 more houses maybe. All we did was up and around and back home. Our pillowcase was full. Did y'all trick-or-treat with pillowcases? We did. We would come home, empty our pillowcase out, and head back around again. Nobody cared that we went twice. Everybody did, and everybody had plenty of candy. And you knew your favorite house had the good candy. Well, we had one year, the one house had the Wacky Packs. Y'all remember the Wacky Packs? That had the stupid little stickers. I know y'all remember those. So, oh my gosh, we were hitting up the Wacky Pack house. Then there was a house that year. That was when I was saying I was about maybe 11, 12. I don't know. It was a house that year that maybe 3 houses up, 3, 4 houses down. Okay, that'll give you a reference from what I'm fixing to tell you. I had ran up to the door, got my candy, and when I turned around and ran back, I did not realize, which I should have seen it when I went in, but when you're excited and running and having fun, they had a little chain fence, just one of them little short ones to the ground, just decorative purposes, or to keep people from parking on your yard, that kind of thing. So I turned around and I took off running, and when I did, I hit that fence and I tripped over it. And when I landed, I doubled up. So my head went down and I doubled up like that. And it knocked the breath out of me. So I was laying there. My friends were freaking out. And I couldn't get up because it had knocked the breath out of me. They come down here running and told my mama. All they told her was, I fell and I'm not breathing. So my mama freaked out. I think she took 2 steps. She told me. She says she flew out that door. I think she took 2 steps. One on this road and one on that road. And she was there. I mean, you better know Mama got there. But it scared her to death. She's not breathing. So she thought I was laying over here dead. But that was exciting. That was an exciting year. Getting the breath knocked out of me and getting Wacky Packs. So that was a good year. Now, I have on my Facebook memories today for Halloween. I put up a picture of me and my brother. Now we're 7 years apart, and so he was maybe, I don't know, what maybe 6 or 7 at the time. I might have been 13 in the picture. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to get it on my big computer and put it up here because it's too cute. I know y'all back remember the. I don't even know if they still make them. Do they still make the mask that you put on with the little, stretchy thing, and the plastic, like almost like a plastic bib that you stuck on your whole body? And you remember how bad you would sweat behind those things even as a kid because you couldn't breathe? He was a slee stack. So he come up and he was like, ooh, he was scaring me. Do y'all remember the slee stacks? I'm not going to lie to y'all. Back when that was popular, Land of the Lost, not that new thing they put on. If y'all young, it's not that new Land of the Lost. It's the 70s Land of the Lost, the original, with the slee stacks. That was one of my most favorite, it wasn't a cartoon, but kids shows, right? It came on Saturday mornings, and Mama put me in swimming lessons up at the Y. I would not go to, she couldn't drag me. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Grab me by the hair of the head and put me in the car? I would not leave this house and go to swimming lessons because Land of the Lost came on at the same time. I set my stubborn little behind right over there. I'm sitting here looking. I'm in the living room. Right over there was the living room, what is now my dining room. Sat right there on that couch in front of that TV and refused to move. So, needless to say, I never learned to swim. I can get by without sinking, but I can't properly swim. I can dog paddle, and I can like flail about and stay afloat. But if I was out at sea, forget it. I'm a goner. Which ain't never going to happen because I ain't going out to sea. I'm not going on no cruise or nothing like that. One time I went on deep sea fishing with my first husband. Oh my gosh. I don't like the thoughts, the feeling of seeing nothing around me but ocean. That gives me just a sick to the pit of my stomach feeling. So, yeah. I don't guess unless I'm stuck down at the deeper end of the pool, I really need to matter about swimming. I ain't going in the ocean either. Too many sharks coming up around here this summer. All the time hearing these reports about sharks. So I'm not doing that either. And some little girl, I think it was, got bit in ankle deep water at the beach. So, no, that's pretty much as far as I'm going. But anyway, happy Halloween. My favorite, I meant to tell you, my favorite costume when I was little with the mask was Casper. Favorite. Okay, now, weigh in. I'm going to look at my notes because I had to write down. It's the end of the month. So for the week, I lost 2.1 pounds. Okay, two losses in a row. I forgot now. Because, I had like 2 gains. And then I had that big loss last week. So it could have gone either way this week because that's how it does. So I was excited to see a loss. Now, if you see a gain next week, don't think nothing of it. That's how it goes. So that puts my total with my gains and my losses for the month at 6.2 pounds. So for a month, I don't think that's bad. Now, this is why when we gained, and it took me a long time to make peace with this. When we have a gain, we can't get all tore up about it because I had 2 in a row. And then last week, that was a monumental loss, which was crazy. But you have to put the big picture together. A gain does not mean you're off track. A gain just means that's what your body did that week. Okay? Now, it could signal if it keeps that maybe you need to change something. But just to have a gain here, a gain there, don't worry about that so much. Just keep doing what you're doing, and your body will catch up. Now, that makes my total loss of 44.7 pounds. I am so close to 45. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Next week I hit 45. Okay, so now my knee goal, if y'all have seen before, my knee goal, I got this, my nose is stopped, but that's why sounding funnier than even funny than I am, was 99 pounds, right? I've lost 19.5 towards that 99 pounds. Because when I started counting that 99 pounds, so when I started counting that was in April, and I did not really lose anything until I started this in, I think it was September. So most of that is, most of it, of course, obviously a lot of it was earlier. I didn't lose 19 pounds in 2 months, but a lot of it is contributed to when I started this. So that gives me 79.5 pounds to go to get in the ballpark where I can go back and see my orthopedic doctor. I'm looking forward to that. Now, I'm going to do one little something different. I have a subscriber, and I asked her if I could do this, and she didn't email me back, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm going to tell her that I did, because I'm not going to mention her name. She found me, not because of Weight Watchers, because she was searching for dragons. Not bearded dragons, dragons. And for some reason, I show up. Now, I went and put in dragons. I don't know exactly what she typed, but I typed in dragons. I never could find me. So I don't know how she found me, but she is now a faithful subscriber. And she is so sweet, okay? I checked my email this morning. She told me she likes to rhyme words and write poems. She wrote me a poem. She had watched my video when I introduced y'all to Flair, and it inspired her to write a poem about it. And I ain't gonna lie, I cried a little bit when I read it, because that somebody would take the time to think of me. Y'all excuse my nose, I'm starting to, can't say my letters. That somebody would take the time to do that for me. Nobody's ever, in 57 years, nobody's ever written me a poem. So I just thought it was so cool and very clever, and I wanted to share it with you, so I will be looking down. Dragon poem. One day I was searching the internet and something caught my eye. She said she had a pet dragon, so this video I had to try. 'Cause I always wanted a pet dragon. Thought they only came in one size. Fire-breathing monsters that flew around the skies. No, she could not have a dragon, but what if she actually did? Better go and check this out and see just what she said. Found so much in this video about how two best friends met. Flair found a forever home, and Kim now had a pet. Watching the two of them together, you know they were meant to be. It is strange how things work out. We are led to what we need to see. She went somewhere to face her fears, 'cause the lady she is brave, never realizing what she was doing, a precious life she was going to save. Kept checking out her videos, loved the stories she told, and now I know there are dragons that in your hand you can hold. P.S. And if you give them a kiss, they will not shoot fire and burn your nose off your face. So, that is the coolest, is it not? Is that not the coolest? I will cherish that forever. So I'm going to end out my weigh-in video. Happy Halloween. If you go out trick-or-treating, I hope it's not raining where you are. It's a mess here. I don't know what the kids are going to do. I feel sorry for the kids when it rains on Halloween, because they look forward to getting their candy and dressing up all year long. And then the weather comes and messes them up. And that hurts my feelings for them. Because I know what it's like to be a kid. I know what it's like to have kids. So hopefully, if your kids are somewhere, I hope they get out. I hope they get lots of candy. I hope they get a pillowcase full. I hope they have to come home and switch it out and get another one. So if you're out and about, be careful. Watch for the kiddos. Give those teenagers candies. And y'all have a good day.